Hey y'all, just wanted to stop in, show off a little exercise I've been working on. I've been working on it with some of my students, so really any age level is able to do this. It just depends on what tempo you want to take this at. I should say any age level, any ability level. The idea is really simple, so we're gonna go conceptually here. We're just taking a 4-note cell, and then we're gonna mess with it. In its basic form, it's just this. Okay, easy enough. So even if you just sat with that for a while, put on a metronome and just went to town on just that feel right there, not feel. What's the word I'm looking for? Just that group, just that cell. Even if you just went to town right there, you still get a lot out of it, especially if you're aiming for all the right stuff, right? Hitting the center of the drum, sounding really good, playing perfectly in time, all those good stuff. What I like to do from here is I like to add a couple of different wrinkles to it, okay? So right now, one thing that I'll do is I'll put quarter notes in the hi-hat, okay? So now we've got this. So I should be clear and say that I'm thinking that this 4-note cell is basically 16th notes. Thinking of those 4 notes as 16th notes, our quarter note, our hi-hat is keeping the quarter note. We can stay on the snare drum for any length of time. I mean, the longer the better, right? When you're practicing, like the longer you can commit to something, the better you're gonna get at it, even if you're just working on evenness of sound, tone, things like that. But of course, you know, maybe we wanna add some other elements to the exercise. So once you feel like you're ready, start moving your hands around the kit. Now, all it is right, left, right, kick, okay? So keep that consistent throughout. Remember, we're aiming for the center of the drums. We want to make really good sounds and stay perfectly in time, okay? Before, but I think it's really important to keep track of the verticality that's happening between your instruments. So that means, like, how are your instruments stacking up, right? Are you hitting them at the exact same time? Or are you kind of flamming them? Okay, so we want one unified sound every time we're hitting on those downbeats, really all the time, but at least for this. Now, you saw me just kind of go straight down the drums, right? We can go back up the drums, but you also don't have to keep your hands on the same drum, right? You can kind of switch it up. As you get more familiar with this sticking, start improvising it, okay? Don't just keep it the same every time. Learn what it's like to sit down and create in the moment. For a lot of my students, that's been the most difficult thing. So get yourself used to, in the practice room, messing around with that. Improvise over this form. Of course, in time you can speed it up, but there's a lot of things that we can do here, okay? We can change the sticking in our hands, keep the placement of the bass drum the same, but we can, instead of starting off right hand lead, we can start off left hand lead. Shouldn't have finished with the right hand there. Oh well. Any permutation of 3 notes that you can handle, try them out, right? You have a ton to choose from. You can think right, left, like we started off, left, left, but we also have our puttitas, which are like right, left, left, right, left, right, left. And then we have 3s on each hand. You can sit there and focus on one. Or you can alternate them. You can also, if you're getting crazy, you can add do a Swiss Army triplet. That works out. remember, take this, apply it, put it all around the drum set, make it creative, make it your own. Don't just sit on the same thing over and over again. If it helps you to work on the sticking, for you to just sit on the snare drum with just, the new sticking that you're trying to learn, that's great. That works totally fine, okay? But once you feel comfortable with it, start moving around the drum set. Always have a metronome on. Always work towards, playing things as perfectly as you can, okay? So now, I'm gonna set up the metronome. I'm gonna play it. And then I'm just gonna show you how long you can sit on these. Right now, I've done it to where this one exercise can take me 30, 40, even 60 minutes, an hour. I'm not gonna make you watch that. I mean, you'd probably turn it off anyway. That would be a horrible thing to watch. Anyway, I'm gonna turn the metronome on, 60 beats per minute. So remember that the cell is 16th notes. I'm playing quarter notes on my left foot. One thing I should also mention about this exercise, you don't have to keep the kick drum in the same spot, right? You can do all of the stickings, everything that we've been talking about, and move the bass drum around. That's a great way to play it too, right? So if you're thinking 16th notes, this way it's on the last 16th note. You can move it on the third 16th note, the second 16th note, the first 16th note. You can do anything you want with that. For today's purpose, to keep things short, I'm just going to use it on the last 16th note, but trust me, I've spent a lot of time moving it around too. It's great, it works awesome. 1, 2, ready, go. I did have a couple of mistakes in there. That's fine. As we're practicing, you probably should be making mistakes, at least from time to time, because that means you're trying new things, pushing yourself. Great, okay? If you're trying to use this exercise to build speed, okay, I would recommend doing that. I like to think of it sort of like if you're working out at the gym, you want to push yourself to a point to where you're not hurting yourself, but you're definitely straining. you're definitely working really hard to get that tempo out, right? And not just like your muscles, but also like the coordination of the limbs and the spacing and all of that, okay? So let's go up a little bit. Let's go to, let's go to like 120. So that's double time what we're just playing. Okay, I'll do short and condensed versions of these, but the same idea applies. You could sit on this tempo for as long as you wanted. That was 120. Still, let's go up. 132. Once again, I would typically sit on these for a lot longer, but not today. Not today. Once again, sit on these exercises. Let's go faster. We're at let's go 144, just for fun. 144. Now, I can guarantee you that if I was playing these exercises for a lot longer, 144, sitting on that that'd be really hard for me, okay? For the sake of the exercise and for the sake of the video, let's see how fast I can go just doing these short little snippets. Let's go to 152. Categorize 152, quarter equals 152 as a success. In fact, I would say I sounded bad, okay? But that's good information for us to know. Now you know where your upper limit is, so when you start inching closer and closer to that, you can keep track of that. Okay, today, 152 was really hard for me, so I'm gonna slowly build up and go, 144, 146, 148, 150, 152, until eventually you're getting up to 152 and it's very comfortable for you. Okay, one last thing about playing fast things. Maybe you noticed, I hope I did a good job of it. As you get faster and faster, there's no need to be playing harder and harder, okay? The reality of playing drums a lot of times is that we probably practice a lot louder than we actually play. For most of us, not all the time, but for a lot of us. So it's a good idea to, when you're getting faster, relax the technique, relax the hands, just try to let things bounce. Don't try to force things so much, okay? If you're forcing things, then it probably means you don't have great control at the moment, so you gotta dial it back. Relax the hands, and you'll be able to play a little bit faster. Okay, I hope this exercise was useful for you. I think it's a lot of fun to play. I also think it's great for, applying to fills when you're playing with your band or whatever. All right, that's it, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for taking the time to check out this exercise. It'd really mean a lot to me if you would subscribe to my page, like this video, leave me a comment. Leave me a comment, tell me if these things are helpful, if there's anything else you want to see. Whatever you want to see, I'll do my best to make it. See you guys.